but I'll ask it. I want you guys to answer that too, but I'll take it a step further. You're watching this basketball team. Of course, December 15th is a date that everybody's going to look at because that's the date when a lot of these contracts you can, where there's a lot more tradable players that have been for the team for the respective period of time where you can make these trades. I mean, the Bucks are. I mean, if you look, every single person that comes out is in the market. The Bucks are like on that in the odds to like, well, are they in on this person? I saw the Nets where they were in on those type of things. Yeah, do you still think this team needs something else? And and that's the thing. To do that, the only way you're gonna get anything else of substance, it's got to be either Brook or Bobby who's getting traded. That's the only way you can get something. Like I think people have got to understand that you're not getting nothing but Marjan and Pat. It's got to be Bobby or Brook. Some combination of that. That's the only thing that's going to get you anything. Do you still think this team needs something to win a championship?
100%. And I agree. And that was part of why we were so like trade Bobby. It wasn't that we didn't like Bobby. It wasn't that we wanted to get it out as much as it was like, listen, we need to get younger. We need to get more athletic. This is our only piece here. Pat's value. I would be shocked if Pat's value was more than the second round pick at this point, like at best, right? Maybe a play. Like I would just absolutely be shocked if Pat really had any trade value worth anything. And but again, it's not just Pat, right? Bobby, Brook. Honestly, at some point, maybe Brook's on the table. Maybe Brook should be on the table. I mean, if we can upgrade, if we can get better, I don't think you rule that out either.
Yeah, well, let me tell you guys, I'm very worried about the interior defense from what I saw tonight and from what I saw Claxton do on Sunday. And I think that kind of goes hand in hand with what we're talking about. Getting a young, energetic, athletic big, and you had a chance to address that in the offseason, whether it was through the draft or through a trade, and you didn't do it. So, I mean, I do think that's, in my opinion, either perimeter defense or interior defense is our biggest issue on this basketball team. And if there's any way that you can kind of get somebody that is energetic, that can go up and block shots, not named Giannis, I think that would be good because a lot of times today, and I agree with you, Trey, on the straight line drives, Brook is just a little slow and they're able to float it over him, right? He's a little slow there. And then, when you start to get guys who are stretch bigs, he's going to be even slower when he's pulled out to the three-point line, Brook is. So, yes, I mean, I do think that there are moves to be made, and I think there's moves that will inevitably happen. And this is why, like JT said, this is why we monitor those two guys because those are the only ones with trade value.
I think the next game is the biggest game for this Bucks front court defense, right? Regardless if we play Atlanta or New York. I think both of those bigs for both teams have proven to be a problem for us. We don't have to talk about how Karl Anthony Towns just ran down the lane and slam dunked it all over us and stuff like that. And Capella went crazy too. And you'd have to argue me up and down to say that guy's a good basketball player, man. He's an athletic dude that can do something. He's not a good basketball player, though. But then it leads me back to, is Brook a good basketball player right now? I don't know, man. Like, I saw earlier in the year, Brook looked like he served a purpose on his team, and if we traded him, it'd be a big cog in our defense, and people could run down the lane. Then I watched the Orlando Magic, minus their two best players, and guys are running down the lane still with him in there. Mm-hmm. Maybe there's some credence with the gentleman that talked about that we played, what did he say, 4 out of 5, whatever the numbers were and stuff like that. I mean, but then I'm going to push back on JT too because Kareem Abdul-Jabbar did it with Conference All-Stars on though. So, like, what are we talking about here? I don't know, man. I think that if you're not making a move to get better, you're doing yourself a disservice. At the same time, Bobby playing the way he is, Brook playing the way he is, we got to find a way to sync this all up and make it where John Horst has a tough decision. Right now, it's like either or, flip a coin. If both these guys can play good at the same time, maybe so. But, I mean, again, it's not about this regular season, but I'd be a fool and I would disrespect my city if I said we don't need to do something to have another parade down Wisconsin Avenue.
because you've been complacent for the past trade deadline and nothing has changed, right? Like nothing is. Yes, you did bring in Dame. Yes, that was the offseason. But when you saw what you were working with last year, right? And these guys are only getting older. You were complacent at the deadline to me. So that just can't happen again.